Imagine starting at the absolute bottom of the food chain, a tiny, fragile monster in a brutal, unforgiving wilderness filled with apex predators. You have no legendary weapons, no chosen one prophecy, and no human allies. Your only weapon? The terrifying, primal ability to devour your enemies, absorb their traits, and evolve. Welcome to That Which Devours, Evolve, the visceral, action-packed LitRPG adventure by Jer Patch. If you love monster progression fantasy, deeply crunchy evolution mechanics, and the sheer, unadulterated thrill of watching a weakling climb the food chain to become a god-tier calamity, this audiobook will completely consume you. It is a masterclass in the weak-to-strong trope, blending gritty survival horror, tactical monster combat, and the addictive dopamine hit of every hard-earned evolution. The narrative kicks off with our protagonist waking up in a hostile, alien ecosystem, where the only rule is eat or be eaten. Starting as a lowly, easily crushed creature, the immediate goal is simply to survive the next 5 minutes. But as the system integrates and the Devour skill awakens, the game changes. The atmosphere is thick with the damp, claustrophobic dread of the deep wilderness, the chittering of unseen horrors, and the relentless, ticking clock tension of a world that wants you dead. Patch excels at capturing the brutal, Darwinian reality of monster life, making every successful hunt and every narrow escape from a larger predator feel like a massive, hard-earned victory. At the core of the book's addictive appeal is its brilliantly crunchy, highly satisfying monster evolution system. This isn't just about gaining experience points. It's about physically and fundamentally changing. Watching the protagonist analyze the traits of its prey, consume them, and unlock new, terrifying morphological upgrades, venom types, and spatial abilities is incredibly satisfying. The LitRPG elements are front and center, treating the evolution tree like a complex, tactical puzzle. The audiobook narration brings the visceral impact of the combat to life, making the crunch of exoskeletons, the hiss of acidic venom, and a satisfying, chiming ding of a new evolutionary stage feel incredibly real and deeply immersive. But beyond the stats and the monstrous transformations, the soul of That Which Devours lies in its psychological depth and the unique perspective of a non-human protagonist. The narrative brilliantly tracks the shift in the protagonist's mindset from the panicked, instinct-driven fear of a prey animal to the cold, calculating, and terrifying confidence of an apex predator. The emotional anchor of the story is the sheer, lonely climb to the top of the food chain, punctuated by the formation of a fiercely loyal, monstrous found family of subordinates and allies who recognize their leader's growing power. As the plot accelerates towards its climax, the pacing becomes utterly breathless. The protagonist, now a massive, terrifying force of nature, is forced to confront a zone-defining, high-tier boss that threatens to wipe out its entire territory. The finale is a breathtaking display of tactical monster warfare, overwhelming physical power, and the perfect synergy of every devoured skill. The protagonist doesn't just win, it consumes the threat, unlocking a terrifying new evolutionary tier that completely rewrites the local power scaling. The finale delivers a massive dopamine-fueled payoff that proves the monster is no longer just surviving, it's ruling. That Which Devours, Evolve is a triumph of the monster progression fantasy genre. It is gritty, tactical, and unapologetically addictive.
Jer Patch has crafted a debut that perfectly captures the thrill of the ultimate evolutionary climb. Plug in your headphones, bare your fangs, and join the hunt. The food chain is long, but they're about to reach the very top.